Hello everybody, back again with another video. Hope you're doing well, hope your life's going well, hope this week is going well for you, and I hope that today has gone well for you so far. It is 3:58 p.m. Central Standard Time, January the 21st, 2023. It's my second video of the day. I just want to come on here and talk about something. I'm just going through another lazy Sunday afternoon, and I just had this thought like pop up in my head. Y'all ever think about like high school? High school. How was your high school experience? Do you think that high school was actually worth it? And honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't really think that for me personally it was worth it because um I don't remember anything from high school. Like, I just think that I learned a whole bunch of useless information that isn't helping me in any sort of way in my life now. And I'm just like, where where do I go from here when you have that realization? Because it's like that's years of your life that you feel like was kind of like a waste in a way. Because I'm like, I could have been doing something more productive. I could have been doing something um, that would have set me up better for the future. Like, I could have been learning a trade. Like, there's people that drop out of high school and go straight into the trades. Now, I understand some jobs want you to have a high school diploma, but I'll be real. A lot of these jobs, all you really need is a GED. Like, you could have dropped out of high school, got a GED, and got a job in the trades. Even truck driving. I mean, there's plenty of truckers that don't have a um, actual high school diploma. They have a GED. Um, and they doing just fine out here. They didn't even finish high school, and they're doing just fine. It's just in the grand scheme of things, you realize that the whole like grade school education, well, I wouldn't say the whole thing, but towards the latter years when they start teaching you all this advanced stuff that has no like real reason or purpose in your overall life, once you realize that, especially when you're older, you're like, what was the point of that? Like, learning all this difficult stuff, taking all these tests, was it really to see how smart you were, or was it to pretty much get you programmed into like taking tests and stuff like that? I don't know. I just know that I'm not using anything I learned in high school at all. You know, I had a pretty decent GPA in high school. It was above a 3.0. Um, but still, that doesn't really matter. Um, doesn't really matter. um, even if you were like the smartest person in high school, doesn't really matter. I mean, in a way, if you were the smartest person in high school, you more than likely got a free college scholarship, and if you chose the right major, um, you'd actually be out here, you know, doing decent. You know, what would be interesting is what if you saw the smartest person in a high school decide to do a trade instead of going to college? What if they decide that, hey, I don't want to do all this academic stuff. I want to go into a trade. That would be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen it. I wonder if it's ever happened. I'm sure it has somewhere in the world throughout human history, but um, that would be interesting. People would be like, "Oh, there's something wrong with him. Why doesn't he want to go to college? He's really smart. He's too smart to do a trade. Trades are for people who aren't smart enough to go to college. Oh, I've heard that before too. You know, it's just funny how people are and how they don't question anything. Like, they just kind of go along with the program. Graduate high school, go to college, get a job. But we know, especially us, Generation Z, we know that, that ain't really, you know, where you gonna make it anymore. You gonna have to do something different. The college thing is getting outdated. It's getting old. You know, a lot of greedy people at the top making it super expensive. People like, man, forget all this college stuff. I'm learning an actual skill, a skill that, for one, I can build my own business out of, or I can go work for a company and make really good money, $30 an hour or more at a company without having to go to college and go $80,000 in student loan debt. And it ain't just $80,000. It's gonna be more than that. It's thousands more than that because of the simple fact that student loan interest compounds. And so people like that, but going back to the high school thing, I just kind of look at it like, man, this was an experience that I really didn't have to have. And I didn't really have a bad high school experience, but I'm not going to act like it was this super great experience. I mean, I didn't really, I just kind of went through the motions. Like, I didn't go to prom, and I did go to my graduation. I know a few people in my graduating class that didn't even bother to, like, go to graduation because they just didn't care like that. But you know, they were just wanting to be done. But you know, you just look at it. We just kind of get put through this whole cycle of grade school, college, get a good job, get married, have kids. We have this whole just cycle, and it starts over again. When you have kids, your kids are going to go through the same thing, and we don't ever even question this. And by the way, that whole like cycle, um it's it's kind of difficult to even do now because buying a home is almost impossible. Finding a good job out of college because of your college education is really difficult now too, especially with the layoffs and the jobs being sent overseas, and the automation and everything. So you can't even do that. You know, a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm going into trades. I'm learning a skill. I'm going to do something with my hands." There's nothing wrong with using your hands, using your you know physicality to make money. As long as you're not like overexerting yourself. But there's nothing wrong with good old skilled labor, and they don't encourage that in high school either. That's another reason why I don't really think that high school is really worthwhile for me. They don't really encourage anything outside of college because the whole education system, they want to give out as many student loans as possible so that they can trap you in as much debt as possible. And there's a lot of people that stand to make a lot of money off of this, so that's why they have to keep pushing college on you. And so I tell people it's all a game, but I don't know, it just wasn't worth anything. I should have dropped out and got my GED, you know, really after my sophomore year, because that's when I really felt like the experience just wasn't really worthwhile. you know, um, I didn't really make any new friends like that junior or senior year. Um, it just, everything I learned, I forgot. Um, well, maybe not everything. I mean, if I was to bring something up, I'd probably remember it. But if it is something that has absolutely zero relevance to my life now, and hasn't had any relevance in my life since I learned it years ago, um, it's just something to think about. Did people who actually dropped out do a good thing? And obviously, it's almost taboo to even say something like that. But hey, I'm the one that brings up, you know, the questions that a lot of people don't want to ask. Was getting a GED actually better? Think about it. A lot of these jobs, trades, and stuff, they ask for a GED, a high school diploma, or GED. Most of them do, at least. Now, if you're talking about a corporate job, I don't think you can get a lot of corporate jobs with just a GED alone. Um, I mean, I might be wrong about that, but they at least want you to have like a high school diploma, good grades and stuff. They especially want you to go to college and have really good grades and stuff, you know. But I don't know. It's kind of something to think about. I'm like, I should have just dropped out. I kind of laugh when I think back on it, but hey, we all just live in this experience, so. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? Like, how was your like high school experience? Like, do you think that it was worth it? Do you think you should have just dropped out? Because I know for a fact, if I would have dropped out and and just entered the workforce like full time at 16, 17 years old, you know, learning a skill, learning a trade, or went to trade school, I'd be ahead in life. I think. I mean, I'd be in a better position than I am now, at least. But I chased after that dream. The whole, you know, I don't know. It just, it's funny how life works. You know, and I think a lot of it was kind of the older generation. Because it worked for them. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. The way that they thought it through, because they just taught what worked for them. They taught that, hey, you need to get an education and go to college and stuff. Um, because it worked for them, they thought that it would work for us, especially like teachers and guidance counselors and stuff at the public school system. Um, they're the main ones that teach the whole college thing, but they didn't really teach anything about skills, skilled trades, truck driving, welding, HVAC mechanic, electrician, plumber, construction, bricklaying. Um, what other trades are out there? Diesel mechanic. Um, Never heard of any of these things in my high school experience. All they did was teach at college. What college are you going to? What are you majoring in? How to fill out a FAFSA. That's all you really heard in like college, and it's all crazy to me when you think about it. Some of the most successful people don't even have a high school diploma. I mean, there's people out here that's making $25, $30 an hour at their jobs, and they have a GED. They didn't even finish high school. They have like a ninth or 10th grade education. You know what I mean? So, I mean, some people less than that, and they're doing completely fine. You know, but oh, you gotta be successful in school so you can go to college. Isn't that all you hear being preached? We don't question anything. I think we ought to question more stuff that's being taught in this society. And the more we question, the more we get to talking about these things, and the more, people tend to open their mind and open their options, you know. So, yeah, that's all I want to come on here and say. We at the 15-minute mark. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments below. Am I wrong? Is there something wrong with what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, you all, stay tuned for a video tomorrow. I might have something uploaded tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see though. But yeah. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.